Hey, it's Eric Arnold again here in my politics barn, and it's October 8th. Oh, in the evening. Oh, heading into, late night, I guess, if you will. But I don't know, I felt like pumping out a politics barn episode here. I don't know. I take notes from the point the last episode occurred. And when it looks like I've got notes enough to do an episode where I'm annoyed about something, then there's an episode. Why do I do these episodes? I mean, basically, I'm of the opinion, and I'm right, that the world's going to hell. And it's not taking years to get there. We're on the road to hell fast. We're going to be there quickly. And I want you people to be aware of that. Because I don't think you are. I don't think the majority of people are aware of what's happening in this country. So I'm trying to wake people up, get you aware of what's happening. Then maybe together we can stop it. I didn't work my whole life, work my ass off, now as I hit into my retirement years, to have this world this country turn into a third world shithole. I don't want to live in a third world shithole. But that's where we're going. So I'm trying to get people aware of that so it doesn't happen. I firmly believe in the Edmund Burke quote. Edmund Burke, former member of the British Parliament back in, I'm going to say, the 17th century, maybe the 18th century, I'm not sure which. He said, all it takes for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. And I've always styled myself as a good man. So that's where I think I need to do something because evil's running wild right now. So somebody better do something or it's just going to win. So what pisses me off the most? Censorship, vaccination mandates, not necessarily in that order. I saw something and I thought, this kind of fits into my censorship deal and it annoys me what's going on right now. Censorship, I think, is largely rooted in the fact that a lot of people, the elites for the most part in this country, just simply cannot stand when somebody does something that they don't agree with. They just don't want them to do anything they don't approve of, and they particularly don't want them speaking out about ideals or ideas that they don't agree with. So I'm a football fan. This Urban Meyer situation. He's an NFL coach. He's now being beaten around like a piñata because he had the temerity to go out to a bar and dance with a co-ed, not his wife, after having a couple drinks, presumably. And now we're just acting like this is the worst thing in the entire world, which annoys me because, I don't think Urban did anything wrong. But, Urban's a big boy, and he's annoyed a lot of people over the years by winning lots of football games and sometimes coming off holier than thou. So now's the big opportunity to smack Urban around. Urban's not exactly winning at the moment, so it's Pile on Urban month. That's fine. As I said, I wanted Urban to come out stronger against this faux scandal and just say, go fuck yourself. I didn't do anything wrong. But what triggered me is I saw an article in USA Today where the girl, presumably a reportedly 24-year-old girl that he was dancing with in the bar, that now they're after her. That according to her mother, she's, I don't know, I guess the subject of scrutiny. They're looking at, everybody sees her and they're saying, oh, there she is. She's the one that was in the video. That her employer is doing an investigation on her, saying that we have to investigate just investigate and, we'll see if she keeps her job or not. Are you kidding me? I mean, what is going on in this world? We're going to punish this girl because she went out to a bar and flirted with another guy and it got caught on video and put on the internet and now she's going to lose her job? Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. It's who in the hell elected the Twitter mob to be the morality of the United States? This is outrageous. Whoever she works for, you ought to give her a goddamn raise because she's done more to promote your business over this faux scandal than you would have gotten in 10 years, just naturally. She's brought more publicity to your little business in Columbus, Ohio, than would have happened in 100 years. So this idea that we need to punish her, because exactly what did she do that was so wrong? This is the kind of hypocrisy. It just makes me crazy. Awful. But hey, it's the internet, being the big old bully, just smacking people around, everybody giving, oh, this is awful, terrible. Oh, the owner of the Jaguars, inexcusable behavior, I believe was the word that the Mr. Khan said about his employee, Urban Meyer. Inexcusable behavior. Oh, man. Urban, please tell these people to go fuck themselves. Please tell them to go fuck themselves. Where do they get off? We have entirely too many people in this goddamn country that are ashamed of things that they shouldn't be ashamed of. Way too many people issuing apology after apology, and they don't mean these apologies, but they think they have to do them because of God knows why, because they're bending, scraping, and groveling in front of the Twitter mob, trying to get back in the good graces of the Twitter mob, which is not going to happen anyway, no matter what they do. You're bending and scraping and groveling in front of a bunch of people that don't deserve your apology. Fuck them! That's what I want to hear more people say every time they get called in front of the Twitter jury and judge. Go fuck yourself. That's what I want to hear more people say. Hey, to all the people that were offended by whatever the hell you think I did wrong, go fuck yourself. That's what I want to start hearing. Go fuck yourself. God damn. You know what? What if Bill Clinton, and I think this is where it all started, what if Bill Clinton, when he was getting knob jobs from Monica Lewinsky, when he got hauled in front of Ken Starr and whatnot, if he had just said, yep, absolutely, I've been getting blowjobs from a 22-year-old intern. They would have had nowhere to go. They would have been, that's terrible. Oh my God. He's like, well, do your worst. You know, what are you going to do? Impeach me? You going to kick me out of office for that? Because if you kick me out, you're going to have to kick out everybody else in the Congress because they're all getting the same. Nothing would have happened. Exactly what did happen. Nothing. Nothing would have happened to the guy, except then we would have had some respect for Bill Clinton because he wasn't a goddamn liar. But, of course, he's, wasn't going to do that. That's not how Bill Clinton's wired, to tell the truth. So, deny. But, yeah, I would have loved it if Bill Clinton had just come out and said the truth. Just said, yep, that's it. Yep, Monica, yeah, I couldn't. Well, you fucked her, right? Hell, no, I did not fuck her. Why would I fuck her? Are you kidding me? She was already kicking Hillary out of the house. I mean, if I had screwed her, I wouldn't have never gotten rid of her. Come on. Are you kidding me? I mean, she's the whole reason I'm in this position, because she's got a big mouth in more ways than one. It's my fault. I mean, nailing a 20-some-year-old, they got big mouths. They cannot shut up. But that's my fault. I'm sorry for that, but I'm not sorry for getting a knob job. I mean, I should have had more sense to get from a more sensible woman, but that's on me. I would have been okay with that kind of an apology. But, the whole idea that, he actually did something horrible, terrible, oh my God. Enough of this. I mean, good Lord, enough of this. I'm tired of judging everybody and everything in this country, and it's always coming up wanting. Way too many people are just so judgmental, and I'm sick of it. Just sick of it. Oh, your tie is just not quite the right color. I don't approve. You don't smoke the same cigarettes as me. Yeah, good Lord, enough. All right, what else about censorship? So did you see now the new thing, I guess, is that Joe Biden was trying to tamp down the revolt going on at the local school board level. That's probably one of the biggest things that people don't pay attention to, and they should. Who is on your local school board? Do you know? Can you name them? Do you have any idea? I know you don't, just because I didn't, and I'm a pretty wired in Politico. I just learned this within the last 6 months, who's on my school board. I knew one or two of the members, but I didn't know all 9 of them. Well, and it's not easy. I'll tell you that. They don't go out, a lot of times these people cross file when they run for office. As Democrats, Republicans, Democrats, so you don't know who they are. You don't know what they believe in. So it's difficult to tell who's on your team and who's not on your team. So it takes some research. The way I did it, I actually have a database of voters here in the state of Pennsylvania. It cost me $20 from the state of Pennsylvania. List of all the people registered to vote, what party they're registered as, so now I can tell, are you a Republican or are you a Democrat? So I look up, I find my 9 members of the school board, and I've determined that I have 8 Republicans and 1 Democrat. Now, they don't vote that way, of course. We have entirely way too many Republicans that are squishy at best, and mostly vote like Democrats, but we have enough people on my local school board that are reliable that I don't have to worry about them doing anything entirely crazy or stupid, like basically saying, well, the United States sucks and the whole world sucks because we had slaves at one point in time in the distant past, and therefore everything the United States has ever done is worthless. We're not stupid enough to do that here at the local school district level. But, if you aren't aware of who's on your school board, yep, you could be doing stuff like that. They could be handing out little tests to your kids going, are you white? Do you realize what that means? That you need to be apologetic all hours of the day and night because at one point your ancestors may or may not have owned slaves, and you need to do something about that. And, we're giving this to a 9-year-old. It's like, what do I need to do about it? You gotta be, so of course people are pissed that this sort of shit's going on in this country. So we've got all kinds of parents going to the school boards right now for any number of reasons. The aforementioned critical race theory that I mentioned, wearing these idiotic, useless goddamn masks in elementary schools and middle schools and high schools. So Joe Biden wants to put a stop to this because the people that are being criticized are basically his people, the teachers. Generally, people on school boards are all Democrats. So they want to put a stop to this. They want to continue to indoctrinate America's youth. The next round of Democrats coming up through the ranks, as long as they have control over what's being brainwashed into these little ignorant bowls of mush in their head. As long as they've got control of what's being taught to these people, they can turn them into little Chinese robots. Well, the parents are mad, so they're going and they're complaining to the school boards, and they're saying, we want some input here. I didn't sign off on some kind of critical race theory quiz or policies or whatever you're teaching these kids. Well, so Joe Biden and company now are saying, all right, we'll stick the FBI on you. If you got the balls to stand up there in front of the school board and call them out, we'll put you on an FBI list. What do you think of that? Well, I think it's, Soviet Union tactics. That's what I think, but it's not surprising to me. That's where we're at in this country. If you got the balls to stand up and speak your mind, you're running the risk of getting put on a list. And I just don't give a fuck. I really don't. Go ahead, put me on your fucking list. Go ahead. That's why I have low overhead. There's not a lot you can do to me. But some people do have things to lose. So they know it. They know they can intimidate Americans. They know people are like, oh, Jesus. I mean, I do work for somebody. And, I don't want them calling me into their office sometimes saying, I just got a call from the FBI. Bill, this is no good. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what my politics are, but I don't want to get calls from the FBI. I'm your employer. These are real things that you got to worry about when the man is after you. So my point to you all is this is terrible. This is un-American. This is absolutely un-American. And it's all bullying and censorship. And it's being done by the Democrats, as I would call them, progressives, Marxists, communists, authoritarians. That's, I think, going to be my new favorite word, because people go, oh, a communist, you're not communists. They're not fascists, they're authoritarians. They want to tell you what to do at all hours of the day and night. All hours of the day and night, the Democrats want to control every aspect of your life because they're smarter than you are, and they know best how you should live your life. So you better listen up to them. That's how they think, and I think it's awful. So that's the censorship angle, the FBI being sicked on parents at local school boards. I mean, holy cow, really? I'm talking in front of a school board and I'm going to get the FBI called on me? Really? Holy cow. Then we got, of course, the vaccination mandates, which continue on, where we're basically throwing a quarter of this country, maybe a third to a quarter of this country out of work, as if the economy can take that sort of thing. I saw one poll that made me feel pretty good, but, until we put it into some kind of action, it's just, a poll. And it was from a group I trust called the Trafalgar Group. They had some success in the last couple election cycles. They were pretty close on some predictions. They said that 65% do not think that people should lose their jobs because they do not have the vaccination. Good, 25% say, yep, you should lose your job. So that's good. Those are good numbers. But again, that has to be translated into some kind of action at some point. We have to follow through then with that. There must be punishment administered to these goddamn communists running wild right now. But, that's a kernel of hope that possibly can be done. You've got companies like IBM, I saw, United Airlines, Southwest Airlines, all just running wild with their mandates, throwing people out of work. Just, hey, yep, goodbye. And you wonder, what does that do when people are being kicked out of work? Well, that's where you have your shortages. And I know I already told you about sitting in line for an hour to get late night McDonald's, and you're saying, well, that's not very big. That's too bad, fatso. Maybe you shouldn't have that fucking meal there at midnight, and then you wouldn't be so fat. You're right, good point. But, shortages stretch all over the place. I've got a good friend of mine, just was diagnosed with cancer. So he's being tested now. Tested, because we've got to find out if the cancer spread or not. If it spread, well, he's going to die. If it didn't spread, he has a good chance. So we're at a tipping point here. But he's waiting for all these tests. He's waiting for all these test results to come back. They don't come back. Why don't they come back? Because no one's there. They don't have anyone at work to do the tests. They've got no one there. There are no employees there. There are no employees anywhere. Shortages, all generated by these idiotic, deathly vaccination mandates, these lockdowns, these turn the economy upside down for a virus that kills hardly anybody. Ridiculous. And it's all because of the idiotic Democrats. Horrifying. So he's waiting for his test results. I noted gas is up another 20 cents. That was just since Monday. Here the local gas price was $3.25. Went out tonight, it's $3.45. Unbelievable. I was sitting there talking to the local bartender. I haven't been in that bar in over 2 years. Went down in there today just for a last call. I'm old, so last call at 9 p.m. And she's telling us how she's hardly ever open anymore, that she can't get cooking oil to fill up her fryer that used to cost 17 bucks. 17 bucks to fill up her fryer, says now it's 41. $41. It's more than doubled. That's what we're dealing with, is that prices haven't gone up just that much. Prices in some areas have doubled, tripled, and we somehow just got to eat it. You know, do you really think the elites are sitting around going, I don't know, Chauncey, have you seen the price of caviar lately? Oh my goodness, I may have to start eating liver pate. They don't do that, trust me. They don't give a fuck if the prices of anything goes up. It's the little people like us that get it in the goddamn shorts when prices triple, because we don't have an unlimited source of money, of course. Oh, it's aggravating as hell. And I need to rant. I need to rant. I'll never go to Los Angeles, I guess. I saw the entire city of Los Angeles now has taken a vow of vaccination, masking, whatever the fuck. It's like, well, never go there. Although I did see the sheriff said, oh, we're not enforcing this. I can't enforce this. If I enforce this, I got to enforce it on my own workforce, and I'll lose 10% of my cops. I can't enforce the law as it is. If I lose 10% of my force, then I really can't enforce the law. So I found that interesting, that they're going to try to, put this draconian lockdown on all their citizens and their own police department, saying, we ain't doing it. And here's another thing that I read an article, and you're saying, well, what are these shortages going to come back to me? What about power? You turn your electricity on, off. It always works. On, off, always works. Maybe, what happens when the power plant can't get enough coal or natural gas to generate the electricity? Because there's a shortage. Because there's not enough engineers to bring the train to you. There are not enough coal miners to dig the coal out of the ground. Well, then you turn that electricity switch on and off. It may not work. Ask the people in Texas about that. What happened here this past winter? Did the electricity work all winter long in Texas? Did it? No, it didn't. It didn't. There was a whole week there where they just were like, well, what's happening here? Well, the collapse of the system. That's what's happening. Your power didn't work. I hope you have a lot of blankets. Sorry for you. That's going to happen this winter. Get ready for it. This is the 70s all over again. And we're lucky if it's just the 70s. If this is just the 70s, we'll probably get through it. I think we're looking at the Depression. I think we're looking at real depressionary type stuff where, the 70s is when your neighbor loses his job. The Depression's when you lose your job. And that's, I think, what's coming. In other words, well, I don't have a job. I'm retired. What's your income? Social Security? Cut off. What do you think of that? You're going to go to the mailbox one day and the check won't be there. And you'll be like, well, wait a minute. I'll call the bank up. My check didn't get deposited by the government. And they're going to say, well, that's just the way it is. I mean, none of them did. Sorry. Don't talk to us. Call your congressman. You're going to see stuff like that. You're going to go to the ATM and it's just not going to work. You say, we're out of cash. Come back later. Well, wait a minute. I need cash now. And they're going to say, we don't have it for you. Sorry. Try another branch. That sort of shit is happening now, and it's just going to become more prevalent, more widespread. But hey, like I said, all I'm doing right now is just trying to wake you people up and get you familiar with the idea that bad shit's happening. Bad shit's happening all over the place. It's happening all over the place. If it hasn't happened to you yet, it will. And then what are you going to do about it? That's the next step. I know that's the heavy lift, of course. Because, maybe I could talk you into voting against the Democrats in the midterm elections. But I got no illusions. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump will be on the ticket in 2024. And then that's it. It'll be, look, Evil is happening all over the place. Yeah, but you're asking me to vote for Donald Trump. I don't know. Donald Trump's evil. Donald Trump's hooked up with the Russians. Donald Trump cheats on his taxes. Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. I get it. I get it. Donald Trump's not a great guy. I get it. I get it. Believe me, I wish like hell I had something else to sell you other than, and here in this corner, the defender of capitalism and freedom's last stand, Donald Trump. Yes, I wish I had something better to sell you than that. So maybe there will. Maybe he won't run. Maybe it'll be somebody else. Somebody you just don't hate as much. Although I will ask you to think about this. Whoever they put in instead of Donald Trump, the elites are going to try to destroy him. I mean, you'll probably end up hating whoever the new person is more than Donald Trump, because they'll just try to brainwash you into how awful that new person is. I submit to you this. The people trying to brainwash you are the awful people. And I don't think you can get much more awful than the people that are already running this country. I really don't think you can do much worse than what's in charge right now. Just saying, just throwing that out there. So that's all I got for you here tonight. Like I said, I just wanted to rant about those few items. We'll have more. There's always more. There'll always be more. I mean, we're crossing our fingers that they can't pass some kind of spending bill, which is going to really trash the economy, but they will. I'm certain they will. So we'll just have to wait. We'll just have to wait, but keep your powder dry. Eric Arnold signing off.